It's May 14th. We are still in the Psalms that were personally written by David. You may remember from our April 24th reading that God had told David that David's throne, would be established forever. So at the time of these writings, David knows he will have a dynasty that will rule over Israel forever. Here today, David prophesies in chapter 110, verses 1 through 4, that one of his descendants who will serve as Israel's king will be his Lord, which was a title used to describe one who is in a higher position. He also prophesies that this future son will be a priest in the order of Melchizedek. We know that Jesus holds the office of prophet, priest, and king. And we know from the book of Hebrews that Jesus does not hold the office of priest in the order of Aaron, because Aaron also brought the sacrifice for his own sins as well as for those of the people he represented. Jesus' priesthood is from the order of Melchizedek, who you may remember was the priest that received a tithe from Abraham. He was the ancient king of Salem, a mysterious figure that some even believe was a form of theophany or Christophany, the pre-incarnate Christ. So David unknowingly begins to pull back the curtain on God's greater, deeper plan for world redemption by prophesying that someday in the future, one of his own sons would hold this mysterious office of priest in the order of Melchizedek and be of a higher rank than himself. It's pretty safe to say that David had no idea that his descendant would be God incarnate. There's no way he could have ever conceived of that idea unless God supernaturally revealed it to him, and we have no indication of that. Also remember that many of the specific prophecies of the atoning nature of Jesus' mission came from the later prophets such as Isaiah. So even while not understanding the full picture of what he's describing, David is functioning in the role of a prophet, and somewhat unknowingly is introducing this idea of a coming Messiah that would serve as Israel's deliverer. So here again, we see this picture that we've seen before, that because David enthusiastically and passionately pursues God's agenda and God's priorities, God uses David in ways that even David doesn't fully understand. David was using his personal, unique gifts of poetry and music and his office as king to publish, to tell the world in a lasting, sustainable record of God's goodness. He did not fully realize the extent to which he was laying the prophetic groundwork that Isaiah, Amos, Micah, Zechariah, and other prophets would build upon to tell the world of the most important message ever given. It's a very powerful principle that bears repeating. When we cooperate with what God is doing, what some would refer to as flowing in the Holy Spirit, we become usable for God's purposes in ways that bless us and others. We also become usable for God's purposes in ways that we don't even know about, in ways that are even beyond our ability to imagine. Here's today's application. Do you see the value of yielding your priorities and your calendar and your schedule and your checkbook and your goals, your very life, to God's desires? The power of a yielded life. It is truly amazing what God will do with a life yielded to His purposes. Yield to Him. Turn it all over to Him today. Now here's today's prayer.